All right, good morning, traders. Welcome to Framework Fortune. We're back with some more live day trading. We've got BTCS having a nice pop up to 534 so far. It is getting rejected off of this 50-day moving average on the daily at the moment. You can see a pretty strong rejection. ISIG holding up its trend line, so I'm continue to hold as long as this trend line is holding. If it cracks below there, I will be getting out. Good morning, David Davis. RELI. Another possible play is it's right above this triangle, but it's got to hold and confirm the break. This could still drop. Not looking too good at the moment. And then GMVD from yesterday not doing anything. So let's see, what's the SPY look like? So SPY had a little dump down, but holding above the downtrend so far, so that's a decent sign. TSRI. Let's see, they had some earnings, it looks like. Higher revenue than the previous year. Very low float, so could get some action. We'll keep it on watch. NTRB is a Nutra brand. I don't really care what is going on with that. Let's see, was TSR? Yeah, TSRI is above all indicators, but it is gapped up quite a bit, so we got to be careful with that. Veru under the EMAs. And we have our... Ooh, let's put hour on watch. This had a nice rip the first day and then had another bounce yesterday. We got this beautiful support right around the 620, 630 area. Might as well say 625. Let me get it on a good line here. Choose an actual straight line instead of my drawings. My drawings are garbage. Perfect. Right at, looks like, actually 630 is at bottom. So this is very close to this tip. We'll keep an eye on it. These moving averages don't matter. It's only 3 days that this has been on the market. So those there's not enough data for those moving averages to make any sense. But that's all I'm seeing that looks like possible plays at the moment, at least to me. And it's coming down. There's not a lot on that scanner. Let me check a couple other scanners. BLI, that didn't show up. Man, BLI is below all indicators. No news. Same thing with BKKT. ACCD. Top 10 NASDAQ. There's an LCID that H&H Trader was on all day yesterday. Nice bounce off of this thing, though. Keep that on. Look at the shares. I can't believe he was trading this. This is 1.6 billion shares. That's not normal for him. He doesn't like high float stocks like that. Nah. Anyway, I think, yeah, this is the list I'm sticking with. There's not anything else I'm seeing. I'm gonna switch back to my all price scanner just in case something new pops up, like Shack just popped up under the 200. And all these ones that are below the moving average is popping up. I don't really want to trade those. Ooh, ISIG is trying to hold. took 3K on BTCS. Nice job, David Davis. Nice job, buddy. I'm still holding, but you know, I was thinking that I remembered you said you went 5,000 shares on BTCS. So I was curious if you had took any of that this morning with that nice rip that BTCS had that quick. You know, that's a almost whole dollar pop within 30 minutes. So nice job capitalizing off of BTCS, which nobody is paying attention to. Why? Why does nobody want to pay attention to the stock? It's so undervalued. It's so stupidly undervalued, and yet it gets no attention. At some point, people will start wising up to BTCS and take a look at it. I don't care if I got to get Charles on here 5,000 times. But anyway, that low float that it has is going to cause these quick pops like this. So I'm just looking for actual big volume to come in here. Because we had that first day with the dividend news, the Bitcoin dividend, and it had 60 million in volume, and then since then it's barely had 1 million, 2 million in volume a day. So today, I mean, it's not. It looks like no, it's not even over 1 million in volume today, but was able to move $1. Yeah, I'm getting a little concerned about ISIG. There we go. That's what I was gonna say. We need to see this pop back over 25 here soon if it's gonna hold this trend line. What's up, Fat Boy Drizzy? End up with 9,000 shares. Nice. Yeah, I don't see why. I mean, I don't know if it's going to retest the high today, but I don't see why it can't. I mean, it's a very good possibility. That's what I was saying. There's only been maybe 500,000 in volume in this so far. So there wasn't this whole dollar pop wasn't that much volume. This thing just needs to see, like it did the other day, a big buying volume spike, more than just 1 or 2 million. And then we could start to see it move. I'm gonna keep an eye on the hour. Give me just a second. I may jump in here on hour. Just coming up and testing that downtrend. Okay, it's having a little pullback now. ISIG strong bounce off of that trend line. If ISIG rebreaks 26, yeah, that's why I'm shaking my head, because that's all you need to know. It's got to break it though. Yeah, what is our 34 million? TSRI is the other one that's super low float, but is selling off. Yeah, I don't like none of these. Everything on the list all below the EMAs. There you go, ISIG. Going up there. Go on, get up there and test that 26. I've been waiting a week and a half on you to do your thing. I've been just patient with you. I haven't serenaded you yet, but if I gotta sing to you ISIG, by God, today is the day I'm gonna serenade you. So this is a small pullback on BTCS so far. It's still holding above that previous candle of yesterday's close, that 460 area. As long as it's staying above 475, which there's some support right there. If it can curl back up, we could see it easily test that high a day again. Let's see. Well, let's break down why you traded TSRI. Let's break that down. So why did you take this trade? It is above all the EMAs, but it's gapped up way up here. You know, this was a $3 gap up, and then it shot all the way up to 1447 right there at pre-market open. But we've not seen anything, even though there was a little trend line you might have been looking at there. We've not seen anything continue to run after market open. This consistently has been happening. We'll have uptrends or shoot ups right before market open, and then they'll push some more just a little bit, and then they just give up and sell off. Now, you could have, one thing to keep you out of this trade, if you look at the daily chart, this thing gives back gains like crazy. Look at all these big wicks on the past chart history. And anytime it is gapped up, because there was a gap up right, let's see, right here, it gave back all of its gains. There was a shoot up here where it gave back pretty much all the gains. It held a little bit. Shoot up, little wick there, gave back all the gains. Little wick there, gave back all the gains. Like, this thing just gives back its gains. Tons and tons of wicks. So that's why I didn't even trade it. It's on my watch list, but I was waiting to see where the bottom was going to be because we had gapped up so much, and this thing has shown me, 50 times the past year that it does not like to hold those gains. So why would I think this time would be any different? I would have to actually see some type of confirmation that it was going to hold up. So as soon as it cracked here, that trend line, that was confirmation it's not going to hold its gains, and it just dumps. So we don't need a lot of confirmation that's going to give back, because it's already telling us that. The past chart history on the daily is telling us this thing loves to give back its gains. BTCS right back up to 5 already. Let's go. Let's go. Exactly. You see how David Davis said that? He would have shorted TSRI due to the gap up. That gap up was a very big gap up. Now, if it was a gap up on a chart that has been uptrending and is not giving back gains every day, it's holding most of its gains, then, that's a different story. But that chart, that daily chart, was showing us, clear as day, that be careful, TSRI will give them gains back. It doesn't care. Now that it's come down some, there's a little bit of support possibly in this $11 area. We may see if $11, $11.50 can hold up, but if this doesn't hold up, it's going to drop some more. So we got to look for some confirmation, Because if you're buying after that big pullback, we don't know if we're catching a falling knife or not. It could continue to pull back. So what's my average? 437. I'm thinking about maybe adding the BTCS here because I don't like anything else going on. And BTCS is looking pretty damn good. If it starts holding $5, it will be above all EMAs on the daily chart. And this little doji followed by this bull candle's pretty good sign. So this will be the first time that BTCS, if it can hold $5, will be bullish above all indicators since November 10th when it cracked and went bearish and had this sell-off. See, ISIG, let me get this line out of the way. Oh no, that's our uptrend for right now. I don't want to take that out. Forget about it. Blow this chart up. So right here, even though ISIG did push up over the body, let's see, actually no, it didn't. Oh, actually it momentarily did. My bad. So it did get up to 25.94, which the body of this candle was at 25.84. So it could not hold. As soon as it came up to the top of this body of this previous candle, it got held down there. There's still a little bit of time left, but if it doesn't push up on this candle or the next candle, we're going to see ISIG probably crack this trend line. BTCS is still chilling right there at the $5 area. Let's see how much volume. Do we have any volume starting to come back in? Barely. That's only 60,000 in buying volume. But that's the thing. The 60,000 in buying volume mixed with a little selling volume just moved this thing, what, 20 cents, 30 cents off of that little bit of volume. So I'm saying it just needs big volume. Let's see, hour, I'm just waiting for it to try to break this trend line, the top of the downtrend, or at least come back up and look like it's going to test it. It's not really doing anything at the moment. RELI back below its downtrend, so that's starting to look bearish. TSRI is trying to hold. Ooh, I don't like how these candles are flat topping. That candle's got a, yeah, there we go. That candle's starting to push, but still, I don't. Let's see the 15-minute. Yeah, I don't trust that at all. Looking at that 15. Oh no, looking at this hour chart, it's real sketchy. Alright, let's see how ISIG looks on the hour chart. Yeah, so it's just that same uptrend. You can see it pretty clearly. Oh, it's starting to get a downtrend. And BTCS just gotta hold above 5. Actually, if you hold, there's this one little peak back here at the beginning of the run that where it went to 503. And that's kind of where it's getting held up at the moment. So it actually needs to break and hold over 503 to confirm. See, look, ASCD had that pop up on the hour chart, running into the 200, getting strongly rejected. Right there. We go into the daily chart. We're way down here. We're not even close to the 50 or the 200. So that's why I don't like to trade these. And I've been breaking that rule this pretty much all week, and last week I'm not breaking that rule anymore. Hey, there goes ISIG starting to push back a little bit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I may add to one of these plays. I may not even trade anything else. Because hour's the only other thing that I'm kind of liking, possibly. Yeah, IMX still having a sell-off. Let's see, you said on SBEV. Well, the SBEV has multiple reasons why I wouldn't trade it. To my trading plan. For one, it's below the 200. So just that right off the rip, I'm not trading it. I'm not trading anything under the indicators. For two, look at these big wicks back here. Giant wicks. Now, this one hasn't sold off yet, but it's just going sideways. And it probably is not going to break out much more because of that daily chart. We go into an hour chart. It's a smaller time frame, but still pulled back. This is the pattern that you're looking at right now. So you have on the hour chart, you have the big run up. You also have this big indecision red doji at that resistance. And then you have a bearish candle opening below the bottom of the body of the indecision candle, and then dropping even more. So this is another one. Looking at the daily chart and then even coming into the hour chart, you can look at this and go, oh no. Because see, the indicators on the hour chart are way back down here, so it could very easily fall back down. There's no support anywhere in this area in the past, how many ever days, 2-3 weeks. So there's no support. It's got to build new support, which probably will take time. Yeah, see, the 15-minute, it looks fine because the 10 days there. But remember, longer the time frame, the stronger the time frame. 1 hour chart, totally different story than the 15-minute. And the 1 hour chart's telling us a lot more honest of a story in that situation. But like I said, me personally, if it's below the moving averages on the daily, they tend not to break out. So just by looking at that, I can avoid from putting any of those type of plays on my list. See, IMMX above all indicators on the daily. ISIG above all indicators on the daily. All the EMAs are way down here. BTCS only has the 50-day. The other two indicators are below it. 50-day is right there, but we are testing it at this moment for this to go bullish. It's the only one on my list that is under any EMA. But also, I know quite a bit about BTCS. But still, RELI above all EMAs. TSRI is above all EMAs, but way above all EMAs. And then like I said, these EMAs don't matter because this has only been IPO'd for 3 days. So there's not 10 days worth of data for the 10-day moving average to be accurate, just like there's not 50 days for the 50-day or 200 days for the 200 days. So on this chart, they're irrelevant. you can't really go off of those because there's just not enough data for those to be accurate. So that's why hour, these indicators don't mean anything on this chart. So hour could shoot up, go down. There's no telling a new IPO, but that's why I'm watching it closely because, like I said, we have this downtrend. Actually, at the moment, we do have a little bit of a flag there. So what's SPY doing? SPY looking a little sketchy here. I thought we might rebound today, which we did rebound towards the end of the day yesterday. We came all the way back up, but looks like we may dump again here. We're very close. It's pretty mixed. BTCS slowly pushing up to 510. Little resistance there. The volume profile here is showing one big red middle finger because the shorts are mad that they've not been able to pull this thing down. Now, there really shouldn't be any shorting in this play in the first place. This thing's so oversold. It should just be pure buying. I'm going to take a quick little break. What's up, Sicilian? What's up, Lightning Rick? Sicilian, what do you mean with the 200 and the 9 EMA are definitely not the same at all. It's 9 days worth of information versus 200 days of past chart history information. So 200 days information is more information than 9 days of information. So with the 200 day, it's going to be stronger. It's going to be more accurate. And that's why I say the longer the time frames, the stronger the indicators. And you have to remember the time frames too. A 200 moving average on the 15-minute chart, it's the same 200 moving average that's on the daily, but when you're looking at time frames, from intraday on out to spread out, the candles are going to look different because your time period of buys and sells are bigger. So like a 15-minute chart, each candle is 15 minutes versus a 5-minute chart where each candle is 5 minutes. So you have 3 times the information per candle on a 15-minute chart than you do a 5-minute chart. But the 200-day is always the strongest of all the indicators because it is the most pre-chart history data. You have 200 days. You have almost a whole year of data of what the thing has done in the past little bit. BTCS still pushing up here. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna take a quick little break before everything starts to kind of get a little spicy here. It looks like we might be possibly getting spicy. So Sicilian, what I would do if I was you, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to, but every computer, at least on Windows, I'm sure Apple has a version of it, has these sticky notes that you can leave up on your computer's desktop. So I would just name this morning watch list checklist, or morning watch checklist, whatever, and ask yourself, these questions. Is it under the 200 day? If it is, does it make the watch list? Or actually, we'll put, is it above the 200 day? If it is, it could make the watch list possibly. And has the daily chart shown profits being given back most of the time? And if that's a no, then you don't want it on there. Or if it's a no, then that'd be another possible candidate. And then, of course, you want your price range, whatever your price range. Is it in your price range of what you want? Whether it's $1 to $5 or $5 to $20. And then your float. What's the max float you want? And you can actually build, you could build a scanner exactly like this. And I may work on it. The only thing I don't know how to do, because I haven't tried it, is making the 200 day a part of the scanner. But there is a way to scan for stocks above the 200 day moving average. So just make a little watch list like this, and then every morning when you sit down on TOS or whatever, or your little checklist, look at your checklist, make your watch list, and if these questions are not the right answers, then don't put them on the watch list, and only trade what's on your watch list. And if those stocks don't give you anything, that's okay. Come back the next day and maybe they'll give you something. But that's going to help with consistency. You got to figure out, what your strategy is. I mean, that's basically my strategy. I don't like to trade anything below the indicators. But yeah, if you do that, that will probably keep you out of a lot of plays that you shouldn't be in. Pretty simply. You can share the picture, Lauren. Go ahead. I'll be honored to have memes made after my crazy face. I have no problem with that. Go ahead and share it. So we'll get a good kick out of that. Or I will anyway, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been trading for a long time, so the checklist is in my head. I don't have it wrote down, but every morning, that's what I do. I do it really fast, and some of you guys, a lot of times, haven't joined me quite yet when I'm going through the scanners. I just go through the scanners and answer those questions. Are they like NTRB? Let's see. Let me go to the daily chart. NTRB below the 200 did not make my list. ACCD below the 200 and the 50 did not make my list. Veru under the 200 did not make my list. Shack under the 200 did not make my list. And BDTX has popped up, but still I don't want any parts of it. Not going to make my list. So, because I haven't took a trade yet today, but there's also not really anything I wanted to take a trade on, except for the things that I'm already in on these swing trades. BTCS and ISIG. So, hour might possibly start to break out here. Let's go into the 1 hour on this. Yeah, we're not really buying at the top. We're buying at the top for this morning so far, but looking back at the hour chart, Right, this is still pretty low. 10-day moving average is at 7. This 5 minutes fixing to close. I may look to jump in this play. Let's see which way we're gonna start going. Jumping in here. 30 shares. Filled at 745. Trend line is at 734. So I'll risk about 10-20 cents on this 30 shares to see if it's going to break this triangle right now. Put a little stop loss below 719 so I don't have to worry about it for the moment. See the 15-minute. Yeah, let's draw this more accurate to the higher time frame. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We'll just let that do its thing. Risking 25 cents on 30 shares, so that's $7.50 on this 30 shares. Very, very low risk trade. And BTCS just still kind of hanging out above 5. Do have a little bit of an uptrend possibly forming on that 15 minutes, so we'll go ahead and remove that line. Hours testing 750 right now. That's where it's been getting held up at all day. Yeah, Tom Connors. I have multiple videos on that. Hold on, I'll go grab those for you. Just a second here. You know what? I want to redo. Let's see. What is the exact question you asked me? Because I might just redo it. Lori Lee, I jumped in the hour, but I'm still in my swing trades, ISIG and BTCS. But I'm only holding hour. My hour's my only day trade thus far today. Let's see. So actually, I mean, I do have some videos on the scanners, but specifically setting up a watch list, maybe I don't. So I'll do that. You know what? I'll do that video today. I'll do an updated video because, like I said, I want to start doing updated videos of the lessons. So let me write that down as something, and I'll do it right after this live stream. It'll take me a little while to edit it, but I'll try to get it up before I go do the crypto content on Framework Fortune Crypto. Yeah. So we'll just do that list, or do that video brand new, because that won't take me too long to do that video. I can probably make that video about 10 minutes. There's not all that much I really have to explain. It's just more of templates. Now, if you don't know how to use Thinkorswim scanners yet, go into the day trading playlist lesson and look for Thinkorswim videos. And I'm going to share the lesson playlist with you guys here for some of you who may have not stumbled upon the playlist yet. Because there's a lot of good lessons in there, and plus there's lessons on how to set up your Thinkorswim scanners, your Thinkorswim charting, multiple different setups. Oops, let me make sure that works. I accidentally hit something. Oh, nope. Damn it. Ignore that link. That link is a lie. Try that link. That one should work. The second link. Yeah, there we go. Second link take you to the whole list of the lessons. Let's pop back over here and see hours still holding up. BTCS still trying to push up, and ISIG still looking pretty decent as well. We'll see on hour if that thing can hold up or not. And in just a second, we'll check out, well, we give it a little bit longer to check out the indexes. It's just now getting to 10 o'clock. Now you can also find resources like the scanners, a simple stock analysis explained. Wait, what am I talking about? Stock analysis? No, simple terms, simple trading terms. There's a little glossary for that. All that's on frameworkfortune.com in the free resources tab. You don't even have to be a member to access that. You can get those access. I mean, it's public access to the free resources. Just fixing something there real quick. I noticed was off. Okay, yeah, I'll say. So using the 5-day and making trend lines there is fine. Yeah, well, just remember the 5-day is not that strong. So even if you make a trend line on the 5-day, doesn't mean that it'll hold up. It could crack very easily. That's why we look for trend lines on the higher time frames. Like on the 15-minute on hour, there's not a triangle that we're looking at. I said the 15 hour, but on the 1 hour chart, you see it's just two candles. So if we go into the 15-minute, you can see that the triangle is there, the same as the 5-minute. It's just going to be spread out because the data is separated into 5-minute candles instead of 15-minute candles. So you have a lot more candles on the 5-minute. Like, this was looking pretty decent, but now on the 15 minute, this candle getting pushed back down, couldn't break so far. This thing may crack. It's trying to hold up, but so far struggling to do so. And BTCS just slowly riding up this trend line. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. So the SPY actually on the 5 minute showing a double bottom, but let's look at the 15 minute. Yeah, still showing a double bottom there as well. That's the long-term previous downtrend, so it did break above that, but today's downtrend intraday, the SPY's got a ways to go to try to rebound just like yesterday, although it has kind of made this double bottom. We'll see. It's kind of moving sideways at the moment. Alright, so hour still slowly climbing up this trend line. Now on this hour chart, we have a pretty clear pattern that since that last hour closed to tell us which way this might go. Because we had that big indecision candle right here on the hour chart. This new hour is opening up green so far, so if it starts pushing up, that'll be pushing up over the flat top of these two bodies. So we're getting a bullish candle above where both of these bodies hit at. So if that continues, which looking at the 15 minute, for this hour candle to continue, the 15 minute, the price will have to bounce off of the trend line here. So that's what we're going to have to see, and that's what I'm looking for, is this bounce off the trend line. But if it cracks the trend line here and starts dumping, then it's going to turn red on the 1 hour chart, and if it drops below the bottom of the red indecision candle, like that 738 area, then it could sell off all the way back down to the 10-day on the hour chart, which is basically $7. Another thing to keep in mind too, indicators are not the end-all be-all. You know, they're just studies and they're accurate to a point, but anything in the stock market, in trading, in cryptos, nothing is 100%. The only thing that's 100% is that Daniel B is a crazy animal. That's it. Everything else is tests and studying, and there's just nothing guaranteed with anything. Always remember that. Just because a trend line is maybe a strong trend line on a daily chart doesn't mean that it can't crack out of nowhere and the stock fall. Just because a stock is above the 200 moving average on the daily chart doesn't necessarily mean always that it will go up. So there's no 100% guarantees of anything, of any strategy, of any technical analysis. You just want to use your technical analysis to make the best decisions and only trade the best setups to your plan, right? If you're trading willy-nilly and just trading a bunch of stuff that you have no plan on in the first place, then you're basically trading blind like a mad person, which I do from time to time. You can see that in action, and it always ends up with me taking a red day. And normally a big red day. So don't feel comfortable just because you've put your stock watch list through the rigorous checklist. That stuff it still could come down. Looks like hour may start cracking here. And then see how, look, see how on the hour chart, that body has now started pulling below that previous body as we're testing this trend line. You can see them both doing it at the same time. So it's going to depend if this 5-minute candle here can close in this 9 seconds right where it's at. And the next 5-minute can come up. But if we see a sell-off like this, which it looks like it's going to get, it looks like, oh yeah, glad I had that stop loss in, because that's how fast it can happen. That's a perfect example. So I actually lost a little bit more than what I had planned on, but that's because the stop loss was a stop market order. So when it stops you out, it's not going to fill you at a guaranteed price. It's only going to fill you at whatever price it can get you out at around that area. But hour given up there, see it pretty clearly on that hour chart as we were talking. You know, that's exactly as I was saying. Now, these upper wicks on the 15-minute was a good indicator that we may be going bearish. So let's move that uptrend. But that is only bearish on the short-term 15-minute chart. We look at the hour chart, we're still actually above the 10-day. So this is a shorter pullback. It may stop right at 7. 7's also whole number, and the 10 days there. And there's some previous support back through there. So there's a lot of possible confirmation that even though this triangle just cracked, $7 still might hold up. Now 7 cracks, the bottom of this consolidation wedge is back down here at 632. So looking with this indecision followed by that bear candle, looking pretty bad there. Give me just a second, guys. I'm dying here. I don't know what's going on with my brain. We got a bunch of questions and stuff. All right, give me. All right. What? What do you want me to read? What did I miss, David Davis, that you said? You're gonna buy Ethereum? Oh, I see what you're talking about. You were talking about, yeah, man. I had a stop loss in there on whatever that was hour. I had a physical stop loss in there. Like I said, I was only risking $7. It just happened to that pullback was so fast, it just dropped me a little bit lower. But still, $11. I'm not worried about it. That's a small loss. I'll eat $11 loss every single day. 5 times a week. That'd be $55 if I can just make one trade for 100 in profit. So you could go 1 and 5 with that type of plan, that type of discipline, and still be profitable on the week. That's why you got to keep them stop losses tight. But not too tight, but tight enough. Tight enough where you're not risking that much. Let's just see. BTCS set for 496. That's your stop loss, I thought you said. Oh, you want me to put a stop loss there on BTCS? That's what you're talking about. Nah. I mean, if it cracks some, if it cracks this little uptrend, that's fine. It's still overall on an uptrend. So I mean, if it cracks this little uptrend, there's plenty of support areas it's got to get through before it can come back down. But remember, we don't have that much volume on this. The buy-in volume has barely come in, and we had, this one volume candle where we sold some, but day traders who caught this at 450 running up to 490 or up to 534, they're going to lock out profit there. Or anybody who is holding and maybe they're only looking for $1 profit. I'm looking for more than just this little pop on BTCS. Because BTCS on the daily chart has broken this previous downtrend of selling and has now started this new uptrend. So on the longest time frame, as long as this uptrend is holding, I'm holding. May turn in, to it maybe a couple more days or whatever, but I'm looking for the breakout. We've not had a breakout yet. None of this is a big breakout for BTCS. We had the news, we had a nice little push up, but that was a rebound from the lows since it's been listed on the NASDAQ, and then buying just slowly continuing to come in. So until we see a very nice big explosion or this trend line crack, I'm holding. ISIG, on the other hand, I'm starting to get tired of holding because I've been in this one a lot longer than BTCS. I've been in it since last week, but I'm looking to see today and tomorrow if it's going to continue this uptrend or not. It's very close to cracking that uptrend. It needs to get over 26 and hold today. See, TSRI still not doing anything. LEI not doing anything. SPY just bounced back up to the trend line. Let's see. I see Fed Chair Powell's name on a lot here. So let's see what the old news articles are saying here. Atlanta Fed president now expects 3 rate rises for 2022. Wow. Equity futures higher ahead of Fed chair nomination hearing testimony. I bet they are, because if Jerome Powell's in control, he's going to keep pushing money in there. Senate Banking Committee for his re-nomination as chairman Fed. That is actually going on right now. Now it says the indices are trading lower ahead of his testimony. So what did he say? I'm curious. Yeah, stocks have seen weakness to begin the new year amid a rise in yields and Fed tapering concern. Let's see. European drug regulator says seeing that we are moving towards the coronavirus becoming more of an endemic. Oh my God. Okay. This is what's up, Ruben? How is this going to let me guys show you what the definition of an endemic is, because they're trying to. This is their new gimmick, is trying to make endemic sound like it means anything. Endemic doesn't mean nothing. Endemic, a disease or condition regularly found among particular people or in a certain area. Native and restricted to a certain place. So they're like trying to use it like we're almost to the endemic stages. Like it's already an endemic. There's no like a pandemic. You know, it just means that the disease is in one place. So if you want to say the world is one place and say, yeah, the disease is over the overall one place, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. But that doesn't make it any more or less it doesn't change anything about the disease. It doesn't mean anything. They just, I don't know. It's just dumb. I did see that North Korea may have fired a ballistic missile. They're always firing missiles. Who cares? Let's see. We should be careful not to. Hey, now there is somebody finally who actually has some damn common sense among everybody. And it looks like it was the same person. I don't know if it's the same person or not, but it's a EU drug regulator. Says should be careful in not overloading the immune system with repeated COVID-19 immunizations. Immunizations. I don't know how I'm saying that. But anyway, that should be obviously clear. The more vaccines and shots you take, the more that you're going to make your immune system dependent on those vaccines. To get over diseases like this, everybody needs natural immunity. We need our bodies to fight it off. If we continue to put in man-made medicines, then it's just going to continue to do crazy things. Fed pal, much of inflation's. All right, so right here's the bullshit. I knew it was coming. Here it is. Fed pal, much of inflation surge tied to pandemic-related disruptions. Bullshit. Inflation, as I said multiple times, it's like in blowing up a balloon. You blow in the balloon, it expands. Inflation of the fiat currency money supply, you're just blowing it up. You're just adding air into the balloon. You're printing more money. So it has nothing to do with pandemic-related disruptions. It's because Jerome Powell is going money printer go burr. But he's trying to point the finger at everything else. We now have a mismatch between supply and demand. What do I always say, guys? Laws of nature. Supply and demand is a law of nature. We have a mismatch because our dumbass selves, as humans, especially the ones in control, think that they can get around the laws of nature. When you try to get around the laws of nature like supply and demand, you screw shit up. And that's why you see him saying, we now have a mismatch. Well, maybe stay out of the way. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe things won't mismatch if y'all stop messing with things. Powell says if more aggressive... Oh, God. Oh, no. Powell says if more aggressive rate increase needed to cool inflation, Fed will do it. So they're ready to crash the stock market now. They're talking about aggressive rate increases. Boy, that's not good. That's not good. Hopefully he's talking like he has been talking. Powell says we have to achieve price stability, says confident we will. They were also confident about the inflation only being transitory, so Powell can go suck it. And then at some point, perhaps later this year, we'll allow the balance sheet to shrink. Maybe, just Yeah, nothing but nonsense out of Jerome Powell's mouth. If they do aggressive rate raises, the stock market's going to crash this year. Like, no doubt about it. If they stop tapering and then raise rates, if they continue to taper and then raise rates, it's over. This thing will not hold up because that means they're pulling money out. They're not going to be pumping in as much money as they were. And then with the interest rates going up, all the free money that everybody has been spending, all the government money and all the stimulus checks and all the PP loans and all this other stuff, all the healthcare shenanigans, which, by the way, healthcare is a disaster right now. From where my wife changed jobs and I'm my own business, I went to try to get health insurance, and there's nothing affordable about the Affordable Care Act. There's also nothing affordable in the private market because the private market has to compete with the government public market, which is not a fair competition because the government public market is using our tax dollars to fund all that while the private market has to actually make a profit. So health insurance is screwed up as well. It has been screwed up for a long time, but it has gotten progressively worse in the last 4 years. Because where I've always been independent, I always look at the private market. My wife, her previous job had really good benefits, so we took the insurance there because the price was good. But insurance right now is out of this world. So if you can, like, they were trying to sell me insurance plans for like $800 for myself for the monthly premium. If you got to pay $800 a month in health care just to stay alive in this country, inflation's out of control up to double digits, and you've been taking out loans at 0% interest, if you don't have a fixed rate on any of those loans when they do these rate rises, then your loan payments are going to go up because you're going to have to pay more interest on what you borrowed. Same thing with a mortgage. If you took a mortgage out and you did not get a fixed APR, you got a balloon mortgage, which you should never do. That's a terrible idea. Or any other type of non-fixed mortgage. If they raise rates, your monthly payments are going to go up. So they are going to... this is not good. This is really, really not good. If they do what they're talking about, I don't know how they're going to... it's not good. It's no bueno whatsoever. There's a lot of different things all tied in one big knot in this giant bubble that the feds are about, that are pretty much saying, we've blown up the bubble. We're getting ready to pop it, baby. Let's go. So... let's see. Let me read some of these comments because I know I went on a rant there. Oh yeah, I know you're looking out for me, David. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. No worries. Hope you get to feeling better, Ruben. Yeah, interest rates rising 4 times this year makes me want to bang my head against the wall. That is what they should have done. They should have raised interest rates in the beginning. If they would have done it in the beginning, yes, it would have crashed the stock market, but the stock market did not have quite as far to fall. Now we went through a whole year of Fed pumping money. Actually 2 years because it started in 2020, and now they're about to yank the rug. That's basically what they're saying. Like, they could have maybe tried to avoid the inflation. Well, for one, if they would have not printed money, that would have helped. For two, if they would have raised interest rates, people wouldn't have been spending all this free money, the 0% interest money, because the interest rates would have been higher. So you wouldn't have had more debt. Like, more people went into debt over the past 2 years, which was not a good thing because before that, there was already most of America in debt. We are the highest debtor nation. And now, because we are the highest debtor nation, we've got to pay those debts back. They're ready to raise interest rates on us. It's going to be an interesting year, that's for sure. There's going to be some wonky stuff happen. See, ISIG still holding up, not really doing too much, but it's holding above 25 at the moment. May have to come back down and test this trend line again. BTCS starting to pop up to that 515 area. RELI possibly breaking back above the downtrend. So keep an eye on that one. TSRI never doing anything. I don't see anything else going on still that catches my attention. DWAC, this is starting to actually look pretty decent on the daily chart, so we'll keep it on watch for the rest of the week because this thing did have such a massive run in the past. If it starts getting crazy volume again, it could get another big spike. ANF, I don't like that. BKKT, I don't like that. So nothing on the scanners. SPY, that's not the SPY. Get back here. There we go. SPY breaking the downtrend already. That was a quick downtrend off of that. The quick downtrend break off of that double bottom. So it does look like the SPY may try to rebound some today. Don't know why it's rebounding on the news of Jerome Powell coming back in, wanting to raise interest rates and all of that. BTCS just popped up to 525. So we may be getting frisky on BTCS here finally. Maybe not though. It just could be a little bit of buying volume. So far it's 88,000 in volume on that 5-minute or this 15-minute candle. So it may just hit 525 and hang out there for a little bit. Now 525 breaks, we start seeing increase in volume. It could start to get a little crazy. Woo! Boy, I'm out of breath. David Davis, yeah. North Korea, yeah. Ruben needs some Pepto. F COVID in the vax, yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. That's the crazy part. We rehired him. That's because most of America, even most of the politicians don't know a lick about economics. Like any economist, unless they're a Keynesian economist, which if you're a Keynesian or Keynesian, however they want to say it, your ideology is the reason we are in this position in the first place. So I'm really not gonna want to hear what a Keynesian economist has to say. Daniel B, how can you beat the stock market? You know the ways. Oh yeah. You're probably right, Lauren. That'll be like the final nail in the coffin. I hadn't even thought about that. If they pop the bubble, then they'll want to make that money printer go again and try to save the stock market. Eesh. Now you're going to swing PHU in at 279. Let's take a look at PHU in real quick. BTCS almost up to that high a day. Oh, got some big, ugly previous lines. Not sure what those are about. So, yes, remove the old drawings. Let me see this daily chart. So on the daily chart, it is above the 200, which is a good thing, but it is running into the 10-day and the 50. So it needs to break 3. If it could break 3, it could pop up. had some decent pops before. Just this candle on December 8th was 310 up to 394. So that's a pretty good move for that price of a stock. But it has been downtrending. Let's look at the hour chart. So this is the pattern you need to watch right here. There's your uptrend, your short-term intra-week uptrend, I would say, because this is from Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. And you got this, where is this? Let's see. Well, you can see too also the 200-day moving average is right there. It's testing it. It held it down earlier. So if it can start holding above the 200 there, then it could try to break through the next couple of days. The only thing that's scary about swinging right now is the market, is the overall market, just because of how crazy things are. Yeah, BTCS just having a little pop up there, just still continuing its little uptrend at the moment. No action yet. Just little bits of buying and very, very little selling. SIG is still alright. Well, Sicilian, I'm not going to tell anybody not to go mess with cryptos because I'm such a huge crypto advocate. And maybe the stock market isn't quite for you. Some people just don't have the patience for it, but you're still going to need the patience in cryptos as well. Because cryptos, as far as price action, there's a slight difference between the way cryptos move and stocks move. It's a very slight difference, and it's not really specifically a big deal at all. But a lot of times, crypto consolidation will be longer, maybe instead of like where we see on BTCS, it's been slowly trying to break out for the past 5-6 days. A big breakout might take like 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, depending on the crypto. Like Bitcoin, everybody's been losing their damn minds because Bitcoin dropped a little bit and they think it's the end of the damn world. But Bitcoin has been testing for a week now at this price area. So there's no reason, for everybody to be freaking out when Bitcoin is still... See, look at the rebound. People were freaking out because of this dip. It did have a nice pull down there, but we've rebounded all the way back to 42.5, almost 43,000 that quick. But you see that consolidation, this consolidation here. I'm on a 1 hour chart. Let me get out of the 1 hour chart. There we go. This consolidation here, this has been 5 days of Bitcoin just testing the uptrend. And it's probably not done. It's probably going to have another 5 days unless all of a sudden buyers just start piling back in it. Ethereum too, rebounding right off the trend line up to 3,200. But the see, like this sell-off on Ethereum, the sell-off started in November. Same thing with Bitcoin, and the sell-off continued all the way into January. So almost 2 months of selling off before we're possibly getting a turnaround. So the consolidation before a big breakout seems to take a little bit longer in the price action, sometimes twice as long than it does with stocks. However, when cryptos do break out, they usually break out twice to 3 times much as stocks. So you may be waiting on those plays to break out for a while, week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But when it finally does in the crypto market, it's very possible you can see 200-300% in a very short, quick amount of time, depending on the coin. So don't, I wouldn't give up on the stock market because trading stocks and trading cryptos, it's still the same process. You're still going to be looking at candles, you're still going to be looking at uptrends, you're still going to be looking at supply and demand. There's not any difference in any of that. The price action is going to still show candles, and it's because it's going to show candles, it's going to show uptrends, downtrends, triangles, U shapes, all the same stuff as with the stock market with cryptos. There's not really any other difference other than that slight difference in consolidation timing that I've noticed, and it may not be, like I said, a big deal. If PHUN does move with DWAC, then yeah, it could possibly get a pop if DWAC does pop. Lightning Rick time to load up on the VIXY. Not yet. Pull up the SPY. We're still building higher highs or higher lows and higher highs at the moment. So we draw the line. There's the higher highs and there's the higher lows. So the SPY, if it holds the 50-day here, could easily rebound back up to that previous 480. Like, you load up now and the SPY doesn't drop, you're just going to eat a loss. The best time if you're going to load up on one of these is to wait to see the SPY or Dow Jones Industrial Index or anything come up and hit the top of this, and then if it can't break that, then you could get an entry really low on the VIXY or VIXX or any of the inverse ETFs and ETNs, and just have your stop loss on VXY close to wherever the top of the break of the uptrend on the SPY would be. Because if it doesn't break, you're going to get the whole move down on the SPY, which is going to be a whole move up on the inverse. And as of now, we don't know if the SPY is going to crack. Technically, hearing like David Davis has been yelling, there's going to be 4 rate rises this year, I will be shocked. I will be absolutely shocked if rates go up and the stock market keeps going up. Like, that will be baffling. But it's not quite time yet. Like I've been saying, we still can rebound. We can still push up until we start to see the weakness in the price action, which we're seeing. We're not really. We're kind of seeing it because we are not able to hold up and break over these areas. We just keep barely pushing up for little highs, but still, until that 450 area cracks strong and we're actually below it, the market is bullish. I mean, it's still bullish right now, so there's no reason to get in anything like that yet. So BTSI and ISIG just slowly doing their things. Fun is a sympathy play for DWAC. Okay, yeah, then I don't mind. I don't mind your thinking, Donnell. It's not bad thinking at all. Lauren messing up David Davis' trade. Don't blame it on Lauren. Well, I don't want to take profits yet. Like I said, this is a swing. We're still on this uptrend. I've got 150 shares, but I'm not looking for $100 win on this. I'm looking for a bigger win. I mean, we're still climbing right up this trend line. So again, my entry's down at 437. We've not even been near my entry the whole day today. So it's uptrending. I'm not going to take my profits when it's not even started ripping yet. It's just slowly climbing. Like you want me to get out of this before the party even begins. I'm here for the party. I brought the chips. I brought the soda. I came early. I've been here for since Wednesday of last week, camping out, waiting for the party. I'm not going to leave the party early after I put all that much time and effort into it. We got to make sure that this thing ain't going to be a big extravagant ball. And same thing with ISIG. I've been in the party. I've been early to the party, waiting and hanging out. I'm waiting for the buyers to arrive to the party. Daniel B, where are you at? What are you talking? This is 2 days in a row. You're talking about cancel culture. What would be David Davis? What would be the difference between shorting the VIX at the top? Wait, short the VIX at the top. What do you mean? The VIX is as low as it possibly can be, or pretty low anyway, close to as low as it can be. What are you going to short on VIX? VIX is a ETN. Or is this the ETN one? Or let me see. What the hell is this one? I get them confused. There's too many of them. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Get out of that. Get out of that. Get out of that. Where we go? Analyze. Here it is. Oh, the VIX is the volatility index. I see what you're trying to say. You see that is if you short a volatility index at the top, then you're going to be shorting on the fact that you think that volatility is going to drop in the market. I don't think we're going to see volatility drop when we're actually crashing because it's going to be a lot of wild movements. There's going to be a lot of volatility. So I don't know. I disagree with you on that, but that's okay. We both are two different traders. We can disagree. Daniel B, you keep trash talk. Daniel B, why are you trash talking to young kids for? You're a 50-year-old man. Like, this is a young kid. Sicilian's a young kid trying to learn the stock market. You've got nothing better to say to him but stuff like that, bro? Come on. Come on. VIX is not running though. Where do you see VIX running at? I'm looking at the VIX chart right now. On the daily chart, the VIX is way down here. If we were up here at like $35, $40, that would make sense, but we're not. There's not been a rip since the beginning of December. But, and that's, I disagree. I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing. VIX is not, if the market's going down, I don't want nothing to do with the volatility indexes in the first place. The volatility indexes are hard to tell what they're going to do because it's going to depend on, you know, is there going to be a lot of volatility or not? That can change day to day, possibly. I would rather look at the inverse of the SPY, which SPXS I'm pretty sure is. Yeah, this is 500. Yeah, this is the daily S&P 500 bear 3x shares. So I wouldn't, and besides, I don't like to short, but I wouldn't even, VIX is not the one I would even be looking at. I'd be looking at the SPX or UVXY, any of the inverse ETFs of the SPY, simply because, I mean, I can pull this chart up and you'll see exactly why. It's clear as day when it comes to inverse ETFs. You throw the volatility in there, you're looking at a totally different type of deal. So there's the SPY on the top. SPY been going up. SPX going down. So it goes the opposite way because it's the inverse. When the SPY was down back here, the SPXS was up. So, and what I was saying earlier, if the SPY gets back up to 484, SPXS will probably drop down some more back to 15 or 16, and then you could get it. And if the SPY continues to drop, then VI or SPXS would do the opposite. I'll show you exactly. We'll go to a 3-year. Right here, what is that? COVID dip. And I'm saying this out of experience because last year, or actually 2020, when we had the COVID dip, I went one share on TVIX, which doesn't even exist anymore, but it was a inverse ETN mixed with volatility. So that thing ran up like crazy. But we go back to the SPY here on right there. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, that's it. March whatever, SPY dipped, SPXS ran up to $280. So that's why I don't mess with the volatilities. I'd rather just go on a straight inverse ETF of the SPY. Because all an inverse ETF is, if an ETF is a basket of stocks, then an inverse ETF is a basket of stocks that the fund is short on. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. Any shares that they're holding in this SPXS fund is going to be the short. They're going to be shorting. So you don't get the risk of shorting on a margin account in case something happens where you might lose more money that's in your account. With an inverse ETF, it's a safer investment than trying to short an entire market, in my opinion. Unless you're a futures trader like Josie, who knows what he's doing. But that's my thoughts on it. I'm not going to be looking at VIX. That's a volatility ETN. I'm going to be looking at an inverse ETF, an actual fund that doesn't have anything but the short against the SPY into it. Let me see here. Oh, if you're talking about if you're talking about shorting the VIX yesterday, or whatever, That was a good short. We're not talking about a day trade though. Yeah, we're talking about if the market continues to crash. But I'm telling you, the volatility mixed in. TVIX is the same exact thing as VIX, and it had that volatility mixed in, and TVIX ran to $1,000. And even though the market was still crashing, the volatility changed when it hit $1,000. The volatility in the market changed, and it caused TVIX to crash. So TVIX actually inversed its inverse and was running with the SPY for the last half of the market drop last year. So that's the thing with the volatility. If the volatility changes, it doesn't matter if the SPY is going up and down, that is going to affect the price. Whereas if it's a ETF, an inverse ETF like SPXS, if the volatility changes, it doesn't matter. It's going to constantly do the opposite of the SPY, where the VIX will a lot of times do the opposite of the SPY, but uh, it can switch because TVIX did it. I watched it myself. I was in TVIX when it happened. I bought one share of TVIX at $200. It ran to $1,000. The switch in volatility happened, and it caught me off guard. I thought we were going to keep running up, and the volatility caused it to start coming back down. I ended up blocking it out at like $600 instead of $1,000. So out of my own mistake, this is what I'm coming from right now. From what I'm telling you guys, like these volatility indexes are not straightforward like the inverse ETFs. They're a little bit more tricky. I agree. I agree with the point you're making that when the VIX is falling, the market is turning, so the volatility can go up. But what I'm saying is, you don't know when the volatility is going to stop, though. How do you know when? Like, how do you measure volatility constantly? I mean, this is a measure of volatility, but looking at this chart, this is a lot of candle wicks, just like we were talking about earlier, and you agreed with me on the past chart history showing candles giving back a lot of gains. This thing is volatile because it is measuring volatility, and volatility is simply just people buying and selling, at the speed at which they are buying and selling. The velocity of shares is what it's actually called. Like how fast are shares being sold? How fast are shares being bought? So you get a little bit more complicated in there, but basically, because it's based off of that, and it's an indicator showing people's reactions that cause the volatility, people are unpredictable. So the volatility is going to be naturally unpredictable. And that's another I'm not knocking, if you're making money off of it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with anybody making money. What I'm saying is, especially for new traders, because we have a lot of new traders, newer traders, traders only been trading for a year or two. They've only traded stocks. They've not really seen a market crash yet. I'm just giving my thoughts on it. So, a new trader trying to short the VIX would just, well, you said short it though. So you shorted it yesterday. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't get with you. I can't get on board with that. APA making new gaming PC money. Let's ride. That's nice. Yeah, we are swing trading and day trading, but the whole point that I was talking about was not for short term swing trading and day trading. What I'm talking about as far as the market crashing, it's not going to do it all at once. It's going to be, probably a month of crashing just back here, maybe more. Because in March, it was a whole month and a half, actually 2 months of crashing. So with 2 months of crashing, this crash is going to be a lot bigger if it does happen. Well, I'm going to say when at this point. The way Powell is talking about, oh God, he said some more stuff. I don't even want to read anything else he said. But when the market starts crashing at some point, it's not going to happen all at once. So it's not, what I'm talking about specifically in this instance is not day trading or swing trading. David Davis, like, I get what you're saying as far as day trading and swing trading, the TVI or the VIX and all of that. But what I've been particularly talking about is just over the whole time frame of the crash. I'm not talking about just day trading, swing trading entries on things. The world crash make me hit my head against the bed. But David Davis, I do like the insights you've been giving us. So I invite you to come on the channel at some point if you would like to and do a little discussion with me for a portfolio power up episode. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. Because like you said, it's a lot harder to actually have these discussions over when one person is on the screen and one person is on text. But you are certainly welcome at any point in time to come on for an episode. Maybe we could talk about it more. I still haven't forgot about the roundtable thing yet. We need to do that, but I was just trying to let Daniel be in one life, cool off. Let those flames that they were experienced kind of cool down before I bring them back into the ring of fire with me. Let's see. So real quick, before I get going here, because it is about that time, and I'm going to be trying to get this watch list video done for you guys who want to see that. ISIG breaking over 26 right now. Looking pretty good. Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. BTCS all the way up to 550. Getting a little rejection there, but still climbing up uptrend. So I will be holding this for longer, like I said. RELI doesn't look like it's going to do much. Hours done. IMMX is done. TSRI is done. DWAC still ripping, so that's another one to keep on watch. Other than that, BTCS, ISIG, and DWAC, I wouldn't really, there's not, unless something new pops up, there's nothing really else going on that I see. And then the SPY rebounding quite nicely there. Big bounce in the intraday, moving about $1. So let's check the what do we call them? The indexes real quick. Yeah. Just message me that to IG, Lauren, so I'll remember it, because I do have quite a bit going on today, and I am doing the live Gods Unchained gameplay at whatever time I have it posted at 1 o'clock, or I think 1:30, or maybe 2. I don't know. I'll have to see. First things first. But let's go through the indexes here and see what we're looking at. Oil of course, going up. No surprise there. Dollar going to drop. You can see that pretty clearly. No surprise there. Everything's starting to look like it should look again. We had this 1 week of offness where the dollar was not moving, but all assets and all trading vessels, I can't think of the word I was looking for, but all trading vessels were going down. So now we're starting to see that rebound on gold, oil. The dollar looks like it's going to crash like it should. Here's the Dow Jones Industrial trying to hold up this 50-day. So this is going to be similar to the SPY at 450. If the Dow Jones cracks 35,000, the SPY will be cracking 450 at the same time, and both of those would come down. Silver has kind of been weird the way it's moving, but overall, silver's still in this big, beautiful wedge play. See, real estate popped back up. No, not really. Real estate hasn't really rebounded yet. So we may see... This is interesting. We may see a crash in the real estate market before we see a crash in the stock market. This is something to keep a very, very close eye on. If the real estate index starts cracking this 420 area, we could see, because it's been going straight up, all that money printing. Same thing as the SPY. That's why houses have went up in prices so much. It's because the amount of dollars it takes to buy them is going to take more. But we may be seeing a real estate crash first. I'm going to keep a very, very close eye the next month over the index right here, because this is very close to that trend line. That could be... The real estate market's a big market, and it could cause some issues. Especially, well, like I was saying earlier, with the interest rates. If interest rates rise, then you're no longer going to get mortgages for 3%, 2% interest. The mortgages are going to go up to 4 to 5%, which means you're going to have to pay back more money than you borrowed because of the interest, so less people will want to buy houses. With higher interest rates, less people buy houses. We are set up possibly for a real estate crash and a stock market crash, which is really scary. Really, really scary. And then Bitcoin and Ethereum, like we said earlier, both having a little rebound today. Those are the futures. So we'll see what happens there. And then the dollar is weak against everything except the Japanese yen, which is barely over. So, we'll see. But that real estate index is quite concerning. And BTCS still holding up there. ISIG still looking good. ISIG actually broke out of the triangle. So if ISIG holds above 26 here, ISIG could climb the rest of the day. All right. Woo. Okay. Let me go through these last little comments here, and then I'm going to call it a day. You thought One Life was about 60 until you seen him? Get him. Get him, Orlando. Get on him. FCell is a fuel stock. So if oil is going up, FCell should technically be going up. And yeah, it is. So all you got to do, fuel stocks are going to move with oil. So just pull up the oil index. You pull up the oil index and you can follow. That'll pretty much, I guarantee, well, I'm not going to say I guarantee, but more than likely it's going to be pretty similar in pattern. There's the daily chart. And let me go to the daily chart on here. FCL is actually a little bit lower than oil. So something's, if this is not following oil that closely, and there's something going on with it. I don't know. I'd have to do some research on fuel cell to see why it had gotten so low. There was a gap down right here, so there must have been some bad news or either some type of offering. What day was that? 12/28. Let's see. Oh, can I get back that far? Yeah, I can. Okay. So, they had earnings on the 29th. They did get out of whatever that court case or whatever the hell they were in. Looks like they had something going on. I mean, as far as the technical analysis, looking at this daily chart, I don't mind it because there was an indecision doji right here at the low of the year. So I mean, you are for a day trade, I would be against it because it's below the 200, but because it is an oil stock, it is possible it starts to make an uptrend now. It's just kind of way too early to tell if it's going to uptrend though. You know what I mean? Because like looking at this, the 10-day has been the anchor pretty much for the price this past little while. So since November 22nd, it's been below the 10-day and continued to ride below the 10-day, which is that green line. So I'd want to see it get back over that green line, but then again, you got the 50 and the 200 right above it. I don't know. That's if oil continues to go up, then FCell will probably see some action, but oil may not skyrocket or anything. It may be a continuous slow up climb on oil. Let me pull back here, because that's the thing. When you look at oil, it hasn't really exploded except from when it was under zero. This really made me want to bang my head against the table that I didn't buy any oil when it was at zero. Like, if you would have bought oil at zero, like you'd have been buying a futures contract at zero, and then you would have got all of this up. But with the futures contract, I would have wanted the gas. I would have wanted the oil. I would have told them to bring me the barrels of oil. I'd have said, bring them, shove them in my barn, because I got paid $0 for them. So I'd like to see that again. I'd like to see oil get back down to zero or something like that. Crazy dip that had. But anyway, oil didn't just shoot up other than at one point where it was at zero, which wasn't obvious. It was going to go up from there. But it's taken, let's see, that's May 20th. A year and a half from oil to go to zero to 81. It's not like oil just shoots straight up. So FCell, even if it does continue to climb, it's going to climb slowly. I think it is a higher float as well. BTCS looks like it may try to test 550 again here soon. And ISAG looking for that confirmation. All right. Yikes. Orlando, that was savage. I like that. The security guard comment, I'm going to repeat the whole thing, but that was nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say Robert Kiyosaki is that's his main focus is real estate. Kiyosaki's got you covered for days on real estate. Grant Cardone, I don't know much about Grant Cardone. I've seen him. I've seen some of his videos and things like that, but I've not followed him, so I don't know. I don't know really to give my opinion on that on Grant Cardone. But all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. We will be back on the crypto channel. Let me find out what exact time for some live Gods Unchained play as I try to continue to push into Mythic so I can get those sweet, sweet Gods tokens and those sweet NFTs. 1:30. 1:30 I'll be on the crypto channel doing that, and then of course at 4 we will switch over for the crypto update. If you haven't yet, go check out frameworkfortune.com. It is free. You can sign up and join the Discord, get access to the Discord where we have multiple things we are building out, including if you want to see the live stream chat during my streams and house streams, that is now integrated into Discord. So if you don't want to hear me talking or watch what I'm doing, but you want to keep up with the chat, you do have that option now in the Discord. We also run in direct tweets from Gods Unchained into the Discord for the Gods Unchained part. And I'm going to look at trying to get some other things to run through for the stock market side and the actual crypto side for streams of content and information. So, all right. Now that's all said, appreciate everybody joining me as always. You guys stay safe out there. Enjoy the outro. Until next time.